hold everyone in. You need to hold everyone in that league to the same standard. Players, water boys, people that work in front offices, owners, cheerleaders, the concession stand dude. You need to hold everybody at the same accountability.
And
Everybody
that's exactly
needs to.
what I want to know.
It needs to be. It needs to be a job atmosphere. It needs to be a regular job atmosphere, not a frat party atmosphere. Almost.
And that's exactly what I asked. I asked that because, I'm going to say it right now. The Jerry Jones case, I believe, is bullshit, and it's some lady trying to extort money from him.
Mm-hmm.
However, while there's an investigation going on, why is Jerry Jones still allowed to run the Dallas Cowboys? Yet, however, at the same time, believe what you want about Adrian Peterson, he's not been formally arrested or charged with anything. He was indicted. They're still going through the process of charging him. He is now allowed to play football for the Minnesota Vikings.
Nope.
Why is it okay for one man to make a living for a sexual assault charge, yet it's not okay for another man to make a living while he is being investigated for child abuse? Mm-hmm. What is the difference? If you're gonna, and honestly, if you ask me, is this how it goes in my line of work? Yeah, if I go out and drink and drive or make a bad decision, knock the hell out of my wife, I'm held to a certain standard. However, if my captain or my commanding officer does it, the stakes are a lot higher, and he faces a lot stiffer punishment. And usually, in most cases, is processed out of the United States military for his mistake. So why is the player held to such a high standard when the owner is not? Look at Jim Irsay.
Yep.
Jim Irsay got arrested for DUI with possession of amphetamines.
And he was suspended the same amount of games originally that Wes Welker was for doing a molly.
How long did it take him to do that? That wasn't done right away.
It took forever.
Exactly. If that would have been, what the hell? If that would have been Jay Cutler, because he looks like he might be the type of guy who allegedly do meth. I'm just saying. If that was Jay Cutler, how quick would he have been suspended?
Exactly. He holds there's a big, gigantic double standard in the NFL, and everybody needs to be held in the same accountability, including the commissioner of the NFL.
So that's what y'all want to do, kind of positive to do?
I want everybody to have the same damn punishment.
It's not just the NFL; it's a double standard in sports. Hope Solo was charged with domestic abuse. Yep. Same thing. Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson were charged for it. Nike dropped Peterson and Rice like they were on fire. Mm-hmm. They've not said a damn word about Hope Solo. Hope Solo was arrested was allegedly assaulting a 17-year-old boy and her sister.
Yep.
And she represents the United States national team. Mm-hmm. She represents our country in her sport. And she's still with Nike. She's still on the field. She's still captaining the team. Now, I know you saw Ray Rice's video, so you can toss it out. And, there's pictures of Peterson. But, hey, Tim McDonald was charged. Greg Hardy was charged. Mm-hmm. They're not even allowed to play. Why the hell is Hope Solo still allowed to play?
Exactly.
It's a double standard across the board. But when it comes back to the NFL, Goodell needs to go. Goodell is the problem. He fucked this up, and he's been doing damage control poorly. And now all these cases are coming out. Jonathan Dwyer, who this allegedly happened in July, is now being charged.
Headbutt his wife and threw his shoe and hit his 17-year-old
Headbutt and broken nose.
Honestly, who throws a shoe?
Honestly,
who throws a shoe? Because
let's go. Brandon Marshall. They're trying to dig something up that Brandon Marshall did in 2006,
and he told you about. He told you about that. But there's the bad part about this. Now, women are going to cry wolf.
Oh yeah,
there's going to be a shit ton of women. As soon as they do something, they're going to cry wolf, and that's going to be that fine line to where, well, what do you do when it's a crying wolf situation?
Now, don't get me wrong. It does happen. We've seen the videos, we've heard the reports, it does happen. So I don't want to make it sound like every woman who reports abuse or rape, because it happens with rape too, is a cry wolf situation. It does unfortunately fucking happen. But now, what's the statute of limitations? What is it going to be? I mean, and I believe most of the states, if there's an argument between a couple, And even if you don't call the cops, if your neighbor feels like they call the cops,
somebody's going to jail.
Someone's going to jail and being charged.
And it's most likely to do.
Whether it's personal whether contact was involved or not. My wife and I could be arguing.
Yep.
In a screaming match. If our neighbors hear us and think they need to call the cops, when the cops get out there, one of us is going to jail and one of us is being charged with domestic abuse. Where is the line in the sand? Mm-hmm. Where is the deal breaker? You've started a witch hunt now that honestly, it's out of control. Mm-hmm. You've gotta, and the punishment thing. He said that you'll be punished worse for something that happens before you're drafted in the NFL. So that means to tell me if you have a college sophomore who knocks his girlfriend out, serves his time in college, graduates 2 years later as a senior and gets drafted, he can still be punished by the NFL for that?
Damn.
What the hell?
Jameis Winston ain't never going to play.
That's pretty brutal.
We'll get into Jameis Winston later, but what the hell is going on? Goodell needs to go. And you know what? We need somebody. We need either a former player in that position, or I read an article, Condoleezza Rice, someone of that nature, somebody who doesn't seem like they have an ulterior motive to be the commissioner of the NFL. I'm tired of lawyers running sports.
You need to let a fan do it.
Well, look at it. David Stern was a lawyer. Bud Selig was an attorney. Roger Goodell was an attorney. Lawyers are horrible fucking people. Why are they running sports?
Nice.
And on that note,
let's keep it moving because John Harbaugh actually saw the video and right away he asked for Ray Rice to be cut, and Bisciotti and the GM denied requests a few times, and so finally when the whole media outcry happened and then everybody saw the video, they went ahead and proceed with everything else going forward. And so he went ahead and texted, right, we love you, and I'm just paraphrasing this. We love you as a player. Love having you here. When things die down, you will have a job waiting for you with the Ravens, mentoring young players coming into the league. And some people in Rice's party say he got offended by that. So I want to say, now Kevin talked about this. Now this is getting pushed towards the Ravens' way. What's your thought about that, Mr. Carter?
I think it's full of crap. I think it's something to get the attention off of Roger Goodell, flubbing it all up. I think, now let's kind of push it towards the Ravens. What did the Ravens have to win? Ray Rice was a dude averaging 2 yards a carry. They had nothing to win in a football sense of this. Just looking at it as a football move, they had nothing to gain if he got suspended or lose because he was only averaging 2 yards a carry.
Right.
It's absurd to think that the Ravens were going to do something after an aging player who's not going to help them.
Your thoughts, John?
I might be on the odds with you two. I commend John Harbaugh. He's the only one in this whole mess from February on whose story has not changed. If you look from February on, he's the only one who's distanced himself from his personal opinions on it, and his story has not changed. He's not avoided a single question that's been asked. He's handled them all with professionalism. I believe Harbaugh. I honestly believe that John Harbaugh wanted to release him. I will buy this. I'm usually the first one to call bullshit. I think Harbaugh did push it. I really think that he wanted it out. Because even when they finally cut Ray Rice, if you watch that press conference with John Harbaugh's remorseless. Harbaugh doesn't apologize, doesn't show any remorse for having to cut Ray Rice. So I believe Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh wanted him out. And I think the ownership kept him in for the same reason we just mentioned. Money. Ray Rice jerseys sell. They're the number one selling jersey in Baltimore. I believe they kept him there. I believe Harbaugh. I think he was telling the truth.
But as the part where they're saying that they saw the video and they seen this and they seen that and they've done all this stuff, I think it's hooey. I think it's hooey that they're saying that they saw the video before the NFL saw the video. Or they saw this before.
Ravens?
Yeah, or they saw this before they saw that. I think it's hooey.
You're missing it. If they saw the video inside the elevator.
Yeah, then they all should be fired.
Why the hell didn't the NFL see the video?
Exactly.
The NFL the whole time was Roger Goodell the whole time was saying we never saw the video until everybody saw the video.
Exactly.
So if the Baltimore Ravens saw the video, Dude, man, let's look at the world of social media. Anybody who's friends with me on Facebook knows I share and tweet and all the stupidest shit in the world. So I'm going to assume that everybody is like that. Don't you think if you work in a business and you have a video of one of your employees assaulting somebody violently in an elevator, you might forward it up to your boss?
Yeah, I think that's hooey. I think
that goes right against Roger Goodell's line.
But what kills me is, though, if you were told, if Ray Rice flat out came up to you, looked at you and said, they go, what happened in the video? Or what happened in that elevator? We seen you drag her out unconscious. What happened in the elevator? Mm-hmm. If Ray Rice were to look at you and go, I punched her right in the face, and she hit the elevator and fell down. That right there, I wouldn't have to see a video. I'd be like, you know what? You're suspended for the year. You'd have done that from the get-go. Nothing would have been said. But because they did the 2-game shit, and now they're saying that everybody was told about it and everything like that, well, it just makes them look even worse. Because if you were told by the guy that did it that he knocked her out in an elevator, and you still suspended him 2 games, and if you're the Ravens, they say that you did this to try to keep Ray Rice in the fold and everything, then all your asses should be fired. Because that's incompetence in the next level.
Yes. That
if somebody tells you they did this, and you already have a video proof that he drug her out of the elevator, that's enough. We didn't need to see that other video to know he done something fucking stupid. We saw the one video. If your intelligence level is stupid enough not to be able to decipher him saying that video of him dragging her out of the elevator, her knocked out, that means he did it. That means he knocked her out in the elevator. Let's just give him 2 games. Your incompetence level is through the roof right there. So everybody should be held in the same accountability.
You know what the saddest thing in this whole mess is right now? Right now, the Baltimore Ravens are 1-1. Let's say, hypothetically, this is such a distraction, this team finishes with a losing record. John Harbaugh is going to be the one to go.
And he was the one with the moral compass.
I think Harbaugh, as I said, if you go back to February, Harbaugh is the only one whose story has not changed.
Nope.
And just look at the press conference he had after they cut Rice. He was remorseless in having to do it. He didn't, it's a sad day. He knew. And now all these reports are coming out that the Ravens knew the Ray Rice story all along, and Harbaugh pushed to cut him. These are being leaked by legitimate sources such as ESPN, the Los Angeles Times. They knew the whole story, and they tried to diffuse it. They tried to cover it up.
You can't cover up one video, though. You can't cover up that video that we saw originally. Mm-hmm. As soon as we saw that thing, I was like, motherfucker knocked her out in the elevator. And then to go 2 games, even if they were covering up, even if they were trying to hoo-ha the commissioner, it's the commissioner's responsibility to do what he needed to do, and he failed. Harbaugh could say that he said cutting, which I believe Harbaugh. The Ravens could say they did this to try to get a 2-game suspension. They may have not have. But it's the commissioner's job. It all goes back to the top. It's the commissioner's job to make the final decision. And when he made that 2-game decision, he was full of shit. And he knew he made the wrong decision. And he should have made the right decision then. If he would have made the right decision then, there would have been no need for this other shit to happen now. He needs to own up, take responsibility, and get the fuck out, is what he needs to do. Because if you're going to keep making mistake upon mistake upon mistake, then that's your fault. He still has done nothing about Adrian Peterson, Hardy, McDonald. He still has done nothing. The teams have been doing stuff. He's done nothing. The teams are the one that's been doing it. Where the hell have you been?
This is usually a different side of Goodell.
Exactly.
Always my way, the highway.
Where the hell have you been? I guarantee if one of them was smoking some shit, you would have suspended their ass quicker than anything.
Yeah.
Where the hell have you been on this shit? This is bigger than smoking some weed. All this shit that's going on right now is bigger than smoking some weed. You got the drug deal done pretty goddamn fast. You need to get this shit done pretty goddamn fast because this is where your legacy is going to lie. Not
And
what
that's-
you did with the drug shit, but